that's something to think about, so we're probably gonna have to bump the phone up from this building to Jason.
Or we'll get through a quarter and then go through and readjust.
Okay.
Let things stabilize a little bit.
Okay. How come it works when he's here? Maybe I need to, maybe it's me.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like whenever somebody walks by, it might
Yeah.
get upset.
I even thought when I talked it, like, I laughed, and the laugh actually
Yeah.
must have had a high pitch to it.
I'll get my stuff and just away from the thing, sitting there.
Have ABC on site at our next council meeting. That way they can tweak in the system.
I'm looking, Casey, I promise.
So did we have trees removed? That's what the $3,800 is?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we had the tree at the old Park on Lincoln Avenue taken down. We had like extra money. Well, not like extra.
Well, we had the,
We had the money that we had budgeted in and we went ahead and used it and,
Then I came and asked for more.
yeah, like, let's say Casey.
So did we get a new Badger meter? There's a Badger meter incorporated, it's $900 on it.
no, that's our license.
That's the license for it? I don't see nothing stands out. Reconciliation. I don't know if I should sign this one.
Never want to sign that one.
It's the mayor's.
So it's working,
Shut off.
but you see that box? There's, will you look at that box that's up on there?
Okay, I feel like anytime I knew. And I did get all of the, I did get all of the refunds done on the Grange and everything, so everything is in.
I don't know if you guys have anything for the appropriation status or revenue status.
This is mine for my last
So nothing on the revenue status. There was an increase to municipal income tax by about 15,000 than we anticipated. The gas tax, an additional $11,000. Everything else kind of came in right where we budgeted, but those were the two revenue sources. It's more than we had budgeted for.
Does it work with these yet?
It's probably partially the weather too.
It
Well,
did.
it was this way. Oh, was it?
And he come out and do something and this.
No, he didn't come out after the last meeting.
Oh. Oh, that's what he told us to leave home. And I went to put on the internet. Like $299 worth of internet.
Wow. it's still not working.
So it should run circles around us.
It's your guys' mic.
That's December's.
Oh, I'm fine with leaving ours off, because it's
Yeah.
not like I'm not loud enough that you can't hear me. For roll call. I can be loud.
Try this, yeah, seems to be mic one.
Is it, maybe it's because we're shuffling papers, I don't, I mean, that's.
It's like there's static in it, so.
Change it with that one.
We'll just eliminate this one.
Is it short somewhere?
Yeah, something must be wrong with that one.
So we did capture those in the going forward. Okay. Some of these two. Everything. And then the revised resolution for this is for 2020, this is for the state pass-through grants.
Yeah, it's a revision to our 2022 budget, where we added in those state pass-through grants, so it's just showing money in and money out.
Money out.
Where we don't receive the cash, it's just a memo posted.
But that was never in there, and that was what was caught in the audit, right?
Yes,
Yes, that fixes the audit. So from now on, when they do the distribution of it and pay it, then I'm gonna do them then. I'm not gonna wait till the end of the year and do like this.
Okay.
I wanna do them as they happen.
So we'll vote on that in council.
Mhm.
I think that's all the documents.
All right, and then
The
we'll,
old business, the new business, yeah, okay.
all right, and then we're putting together fiscal year end reports that we normally provide, like on utilities and stuff like that, so hopefully by February-ish, we should have them done. But just a preview, behind you, I have the net change of our position.
Did you say the end of this month?
No, next month.
Yeah. So, so if you remember, when we do our budget, you know, we forecast what we're gonna carry over. In column
Right.
F, you'll see that was our forecasted, change, to where we anticipated carrying over around $4,000 in all of our accounts. In column D, you see what our actual net change or change in net position is. So, you know, we done relatively well, because we ended up carrying over $33,000, adding to our bank account for the year. You know, the water, has a decent amount finally, we're over $100,000. And our big chunk was the general fund, but we also bought a lot more than what we anticipated at the beginning of the year. You know, we only forecasted carrying over about 4,000, but our net change was in the negative 17,000. But again, we did make a lot of purchases, grant money, things like that. So overall, I think, you know, we've done a good job as far as changing our net position. Again, this right here will be hopefully all in that fiscal year report that we'll have ready for you, we hope by next month.
So the coronavirus fund, is there still that much left in there?
There's money in there, but we haven't, it's all,
It's accounted
it's
for,
appropriated,
allotted
yeah.
anyways.
It just hasn't been paid out yet. Yeah, because we have $30,000 sitting in
Yeah,
that account, but,
thinking it should be close to zero.
yeah. Yeah, we are, because I think most of that's covered under that Bobcat contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where you got the 115 from, but it should only be like the 92. Wait a minute, am I on the right line? Hang on a
I
minute.
don't know which line. is that?
59, 59, okay, yeah, the 9,000 is gone too.
The coronavirus.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, that's just the net change, that's my,
Yeah, that was-
that was a change from what,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
I was just asking, it should be getting close to zero.
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It is either, or Casey got it about dwindled all away, yes.
So when do we get those?
The Bobcat's delivered next month, scheduled for delivery next month.
And then Cooper probably won't be able to do anything with our slab to do the generator till what?
No,
March?
he has that on his list.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know if you could do it in the winter or not.
Yeah. Yeah, they just have to add, I think, antifreeze or something to the concrete,
Oh, okay.
They put calcium in it.
calcium.
Do you have anything else, Penny?
No, I don't. I did get the year end closed.
Good.
Don't ask for anything, cause my desk looked like somebody threw a bomb and ran, so.
You say all the POs will come next month?
Yes, I have them roughed up, but I don't have them in the system yet, all of them, so.
Did it help to shut down for a couple days?
It did,
Good.
it did.
We got like 3 more days.
Yeah.
Would've been real
Well,
nice.
well, I'm just, for next year, we need
It
to,
was really very helpful.
Anything else?
No,
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Michelle made the motion, Bob seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's pretty quick, not the council meeting. but-
Yeah, I know. Well, it's our first meeting of the year, you know that was not quick.
all depends who comes.
Sorry to hear about your daughter.
Is it? Are you asking or are you telling?
I'm hoping it is.
Give me a second, I'll check again.
payroll there on your desk, right?
It's all, everything's double checked.
Okay.
Sam signed off, I signed off. So,
Anytime you do for sure, I can't see it on Facebook because I have minutes for Facebook. So every time I try to click on it, it
what's
takes
your
me
resolution?
to do something on Facebook.
Okay.
Like I can't just see it.
Can you go live on YouTube?
We are right now, yeah.
That's what I'm on.
Yes.
It should be on our
So that's
Facebook
right,
page.
and then this is the contract to
Are
you.
you on Facebook?
Which contract do we need?
Okay, so.
I think it's the one that's not discovered.
Yes, this one, okay. So,
Can you take the other ones?
Yeah, so we'll get them mixed up.
Search for it. They were living in.
Oh, there's two of those, there might be two copies of that paper clips everywhere. Might be,
that's the copy.
it's probably that,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
What is your original?
The trash. Okay.
Search for the, I need to just text me the first one, so we can hear you and I'll see you.
Thank you.
It should say shop.
So there's no.
Yeah, I'm picking up the shop.
It's there.
Is it there? Okay.
Oh, it's original.
It's P-Bill, capital P-B-I-L-L-E 18.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So Jason,
Mm-hmm.
we're live on Facebook, but we're live on my account. Like, not me as administrator of Village of Pleasantville, we're live on Smithsonberry. I'm just saying.
Okay, so we gotta get that changed.
I followed the directions that Mike gave us, is all I'm telling you. We're on YouTube, we're live on YouTube. But we're live on my Facebook.
go nursing with me. I need backup, you bring your gun.
Does he not like it?
Well, they tried to give him a new pill, like to try to get him to, he's not sleeping at night. But when he's home, he gets up 2 times a night to go pee.
Yeah.
So like he shuffles around and then whatever, it's okay. Well, they want him to sleep. They don't want him to get up and go around. So they gave him a pill last night to sleep. So he tells my mom yesterday, Mom and Tim are up there, there was something last night. He's sitting there and he told Tim, we gotta get up, I gotta get dressed. He says, I gotta go shovel snow. Tim says, Dad, it's raining.
Pay attention, Rich.
I ain't paying attention. Stop it. Isn't that a mirror bathroom? Because then, he told Mom he had to go down to the and help fill those struts in the car. Well, he don't have strength to lift the bullets and bolts or anything else. So today I had to go up and make him stop it because he's a little bit, yeah. Poor guy. And then nobody's coming. Excuse me.
All right, 7 PM on Thursday, January 12th, 2023. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have roll call, please?
Mayor Henderson,
Present.
Councilman West,
Here.
Councilman Jamal, here, Councilman Mason,
Here.
Councilman Muncy,
Here.
Councilman Pangborn,
Here.
Councilman Williams.
Here.
All right, first item up for business is the election of President of Council for the 2023 term. Do I hear a motion, I'm sorry, a name presented for consideration?
Chad.
All right. All right.
Chad.
Any other names? Any other names? All right, do I hear a motion to make Chad West President of Council for 2023?
I make a motion.
And I'll second.
Bill made the motion, Michelle second. Roll call?
Call him.
Mhm.
Okay. Councilman West?
No.
He's allowed to vote no.
That's not nice.
He always votes no for himself.
Councilwoman Jamal?
Yes.
Councilman Mason?
Yes.
Councilman Muncy?
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
All right, mayor's committees for 2023, I am not changing those, just because we did do a lot of changes last year, so they will remain the same. Just for awareness, myself, Councilwoman DeMalt, and Councilman Williams, our seats are up at the end of this year for 2023. And your petitions are due in October, I believe. So as we get more, what's that?
Can you do them earlier than that?
You can pick them up earlier, but you can only turn them in at a certain time, yeah. And then also, everyone has a copy of our contact sheet as well. Just make sure you look over it, and if there's any changes need to be done, and let Sam know before you leave tonight. And from there, we'll go into the regular meeting and approval of minutes. We do have 3 meetings that we have to approve. Keep in mind, there were people absent during some of these meetings, so they would have to abstain. So the first one is the approval of the special meeting from October 20th, 2022. And Councilman Williams and Councilman Muncy were not present at those ones. So do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve.
And I'll second it.
Bob made the motion, Bill second. Roll call?
President West?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jamal? Yes. Councilman Mason?
Yes.
Councilman Muncy?
Danny.
Councilman Pangborn?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Abstain.
All right, the next one is the council meeting for the December 8th, 2022 meeting. Councilman Mason and Councilman Williams were absent during those ones, so they'll have to abstain. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I, just to put on the record, I gave Sam a change, just the 2 comments on the regional and the health. just to
Okay.
be clear.
For November,
You did December, did you?
you skipped
I'm
November.
sorry, I'm going by in order.
Okay.
So this is for the December
That's
8th.
right. Oh,
Then
for
not
December?
Yeah,
the one I was.
yeah, this is
talking
for
about was
December 8th is the one that I called for.
Okay.
The change is for the November, so I
Okay,
thought we were going.
sorry, yeah, and I didn't,
Go.
I'm going by,
Gotcha.
do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Chad made the motion,
I'll
second
second it. Okay.
Bob second, all in favor, or roll call?
President West?
Yes.
Councilman Dumont?
Yes.
Councilman Mason?
Abstain.
Councilman Muncy?
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Abstain.
All right, and this is the November 10th, 2022 council meeting minutes for a regular meeting. President West was absent during this one. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Bill made the motion,
I'll second it.
Bob second. Roll call?
President West?
Abstain.
Councilman Dumont?
Yes.
Councilman Mason?
Yes.
Councilman Muncy?
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
All right, we'll go on to business of guest, and Mr. Vance, you're up.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
It's good to be on Team Pleasantville again this year. Thank you very much. With the mayor's support, I've been working with the county for the final touch on the agreement associated with the water tank maintenance grant that we're gonna get from the county in 2023. That's my authority right now, plus I'm working on some other things with the mayor associated with the DOT grants in support of our engineers who are gonna be filing those applications. And you should have back to the water tank maintenance agreement, which should be coming to your council meeting in February for your review and consideration. And I welcome any questions.
Any questions for Bill? All right, I appreciate everything. I know we have like a laundry list we kind of started of things we're gonna be working on this year. Get some traction behind, and again, once we get further along, they'll all come back to council. There's no one here from the public for public input, so we'll go ahead and move to council reports. Finance, President West.
There is nothing outstanding from the finance reports other than we'll have the resolution for the revised 2022 fiscal year, that'll come later.
Okay. Zoning property maintenance, President West.
I don't have anything.
Yeah, I don't think we've had any activity for that. It's our law season. Records, rules, and law, Councilwoman DeMalt.
Have you been able to?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone has had a copy of it. I've had a couple comments back, and I'll forward that over to you.
That'd be great.
And I still have some more comments. I've been piecemealing reading it, so,
I have physical edits, like my packet.
okay, that's
You
fine.
want that?
Yes,
Okay.
once you're done,
Okay.
yeah. Recreation Community Center and Pool, Councilman Williams.
We have one rental in January and 2 in February.
All right. Safety Service, Councilman Muncy.
No.
All right. County Board of Representatives, Regional Planning, Councilwoman DeMalt.
Nothing to report.
Okay, and Board of Health, Ad hoc, Councilwoman DeMalt.
Yeah, there wasn't a meeting, but there is one scheduled finally for March 29th.
Okay, I was gonna ask to make sure you got that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go ahead and go to grants. Again, we'll have, current awarded ones is our Nature Works Round 27, Audie Park Ball Diamond. Bids were due yesterday at 2 p.m. We did receive 2 bids. And I have my spiel for those. Once my computer comes up. Maybe. The one was overbid by probably $20,000. And then the second bid was around $54,000 for a base bid. And I'm pulling this stuff up. Once my computer wants to work. So we will have an ordinance I'm sorry. I will need tonight a verbal vote to approve All right, so this is for Nash Construction. And his base bid was $55,261,000. And it's been checked for completeness and accuracy, and it has went through that and approved. So we just need a motion from council to go ahead and proceed with contracting. And again, we'll have a formal ordinance or resolution next month.
And the other one was 20,000 you were.
Yeah, let me grab the other one for you. The other one was from Hickory Valley Sod Farm, and for the base bid, it was $87,172. And again, our max was $60,000, so he was about $27,000 over on the base bid. All right, do I hear a motion to verbally approve the contract for $55,261 for Audie Park?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second it.
Steve made the motion, second by Michelle. Roll call.
President West?
Yes.
Councilman Jamal?
Yes.
Councilman Mason?
Yes.
Councilman Muncy?
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Okay, in addition to that, we also had extra work that we wanted on here for other things. I'll give you those prices. Like, we don't need an answer today, because again, you know, they're gonna work on the main thing, but probably by next month, we'll wanna make sure we finalize this, but that way you guys can start thinking about it. So in this project, it was not replacing the foul line fencing that's 4 foot tall, because it's in decent shape. But if we do want that replaced, it's an additional $6,620 for both foul
Both
line,
sides.
yeah, both sides. For the dugout bench relocation, it's $1,550. To place stone in the existing driveway, $2,800. And then to do the remaining part of the outfield grading that was outside of the scope of the plan is an additional $5,500. The engineer said he would suggest, at minimum, do that, just because that would make a complete ball field, plus that would put us right around, a little over that $60,000 mark, and we would have to come up with about $700, $800. But, you know, those are things to consider, but of those 4 items, the engineer suggests that would be the one that he would support. If, you know, all of them, but definitely at minimum that one.
So with the fence, it's just replaced like in kind? If that was.
The 4 foot one, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and the base itself includes the backstop and then the outfield fence.
Right.
And then also the side fence would also include the protection cap too, and I don't think I mentioned that. But those are things that would be extra outside of the scope of the original bid packet that we had them bid on.
So, I guess to me, it doesn't make sense to do the fence, the foul fence.
Yeah, because it's in relatively good shape.
So with the gravel, is that just there up past the concession stand?
Yeah.
Can't we do that ourselves?
Yeah.
So how many other ones are left on there?
Then the other one was relocate the dugout benches, which there's 2 of them, which technically we could do 2. I think those 3 items, 2 of them we can do in-house, cheaper, and then the one realistically doesn't need done, but again, we didn't know how this was gonna play out, so.
I guess that's where I was going.
Yeah.
I say we do the outfield.
Yes.
Get it all graded.
Okay, do you want, I mean, if we want, we can put that in motion now to have that, and that'll put us a
I
little.
don't know how everybody else feels, but
I
the
feel
fence
the
is
same
all
way.
right.
Yeah,
I actually think
Gravel
that
we could
outfield
do.
makes sense to do all together so it's one complete.
Okay.
So it all drains right too, and stuff, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like, get it all correct.
Yep.
at the same time.
yeah, because if not, you'll have a little
Right.
hump out there, so, divot. All right, so do I hear a motion to add, we're gonna call it item A-4, remaining outfield site grading per plan for $5,500?
Make that motion.
So Steve made the motion, second,
I'll second.
Chad second. Roll call?
President West?
Yes.
Councilman Jamal?
Yes.
Councilman Mason?
Yes.
Councilman Muncy?
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
All right, the next thing on this one, just for, to make sure everything's on the up and up, I am related to this contractor, Nash Builders. He's a distant cousin of mine, so I would prefer not to be the one handling this grant. So if there's someone else from council that would like to step up, and when I say manage it, the engineers manage it, but like any questions that come back, decisions, things like that, that way it's not coming to me and through me. And we don't need an answer tonight, but,
I'll do with it,
okay, all right. So we'll go ahead, and I'll let
if
the.
nobody else wants to do it.
No, you go right ahead. Sounds like a good good president, Joe.
That's what I was thinking, but I was trying not to, you know. So, and I'll make sure that's clear to the engineers and also to Nash Builders, that way, I'm not involved with it.
Harass Alan.
What's that?
I can harass Alan now.
Yeah, yes. Well, it's more Trevor anymore.
Is it?
Yeah. All right. DARPA tank maintenance, Bill touched on. The CDBG neighborhood revitalization, that funding will be coming. So again, it was awarded. OPWC 2022, which is the storm lines for Summit Street. We probably won't hear back until the July timeframe. It's usually about the time they get back to us on that, so that will just be on our radar until then. I did have a meeting with Mr. Ott, who owns the field that we're proposing putting this in. He came up, we had a really good discussion. Not against it, he just wants to bring in one other person to ask him some questions. So he will probably be meeting back up with us again, and I told him we're not looking for an answer for an easement today, because we have plenty of time. And if he doesn't give us an easement, we still have a right-of-way with that alley. So it's not necessarily we need it, it'll just make it easier. But he seems like he's in agreement with it. He just wants to make sure someone else looks at it besides himself. That's it on grants. Looking at the board, make sure we didn't miss anything, but I think that's it. Yep, okay, so Casey, it's you.
Basically, give you a quick rundown because I don't have paper. We had a few water turnoffs from water breaks during that hard freeze. With that being said, the last couple of weeks, we've been chasing down what we thought were water leaks. Well, they are water leaks because our plant started increasing. The good news is we found pretty much everything, and they're not ours. So they're on the actual residents and stuff like that. So far, knock on wood, we haven't had any major issues, but when we do have hard freezes like that, it affects villages, you know, the water lines and stuff, and we have more breaks. And when that does, the plant, of course, goes up. And that being said, the good thing is like I said, we caught them, almost all of them. We got just hair ones we can't find yet, but we're doing better on that. We took down all the Christmas lights, tore down all the Christmas displays and cleaning up the shop, repaired Drum Alley, and all the rest of the alley seems to be holding up. It's just Drum now.
Yeah, we get a lot of traffic through there.
Yeah.
It's
But all the
gonna,
rest of
it's
the
gonna
alleys,
happen.
all the rest of them that we've redone, the one up on
First and
between
second.
First and Second, seems to be holding up except in the one spot. And that's just because it goes in and out a lot. We understand that, we'll get that one. The other one that we rebuilt over here on the backside, I haven't seen any problem with it. There's one spot that's holding a little bit of water, but we've already got it figured out, marked, and then this summer we'll fill it in. So hopefully by the time summer gets around, we will be back on Drum Alley.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of movement back there, so it's gonna happen.
But you are on our radar,
Yeah, thank you.
and that's really about it going on.
Okay, and then you're gonna go through tonight and look at streetlights, because we have some streetlights out to get those turned in.
Yeah, we turned in 8 streetlights, I think, a couple months ago. And we got most of those fixed, but we're starting to see more of them pop. So we're gonna go back through and see what we can find again.
There's one at the top of First, at Main Street, at the railroad tracks, right down the corner of Larry House. I noticed that one's out when I come back and get a drink today.
Is that the same one that's been out with Jefferson?
No. No, that's a new one.
South Central Power.
AEP. South Central is all around us, but not in the village.
Yeah, the village is actually,
Yeah. Nothing else, we'll go ahead and move to old business. We have none down there, but just for awareness, the house was demoed on South Main Street. A lot of great compliments, only one negative comment, and someone just told me we didn't have the right to tear down people's personal property, but, you know, outside of that, everyone else is ecstatic that that is down, and they understood the safety concern there, so.
It looks a lot nicer.
It does, and we don't have to worry about it crashing in on someone
Right.
else's house, so. The money that it took to tear that down, the county, again, fronted that money, and then we will apply that to their property taxes, so if it is sold, we'll collect the money in, then we have to pay the county that money for the tear down. Any other old business before we move on to new?
So, we kind of touched on this in finance, but when is the skid steer coming?
Skid steer is scheduled for February.
So, with that, we were also getting the backhoe, right, from?
The backhoe for Brinkman we already bought, and we have it here.
We have it.
Yeah, that's what we're
That's
using.
what they fixed the alley with the other day.
Yeah, because our original backhoe is inoperable. And we'll probably be bringing something to you in the next couple months for bid.
Yeah, I got to see it in use.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It actually has a windshield wiper. We haven't had
Oh.
one of those ever.
I didn't see him using that. I don't know if it was raining or not.
Yeah, the other day Tony was excited because he can actually see where he was going.
Going
because-
in it.
Yeah,
He was out of it in the alley more than in
Yeah.
it, so.
New business, we have ordinance 01-12-2301, and it's an ordinance authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to execute an agreement between the village of Pleasantville and the village of Baltimore for the provisions of police protection services. This is different than what I had mentioned to the Safety Service Committee. This is the one that I briefly talked about where the cost of fuel and labor and all that kept going up, and Baltimore needed to make an adjustment. So our contract went from $20,000 up to $23,000 a year, so they increased it by $3,000. Everything else stays the same in the contract, and it's for the same services that we've been receiving. Any questions on that? If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Bill made the motion. Second?
I'll second it.
Chad second. Roll call?
President West,
Yes.
Councilman Duval,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Muncy,
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
All right, next one, I'm gonna skip the budget and we'll go ahead and do all the resolutions and we'll come back to that for the festival. Resolution 01-12-2301, a resolution authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into an agreement with LDNL for entertainment at the Music and Street Festival. So that is the main band that the festival committee has secured, but they require a contract, and because we're hosting it, we have to issue the contract, and a contract can't be approved without council, so that's kind of why it's coming the long way around to you guys. And let me grab that. Their fee is $2,900, plus we issue a letter that the remainder of what they normally would charge would be considered a donation. So I think we have to write a letter saying that they're donating about $2,000 worth of entertainment, because they normally charge about $5,000 for one of their appearances. So this right here would authorize me or the clerk to enter into that contract. Any questions on it? Okay, so do I hear a motion to accept resolution 01-12-2301?
I'll make the motion.
Chad made the motion.
A second.
Steve second. Roll call.
President West,
Yes.
Councilman Duval,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Muncy,
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
All right, and then resolution 1-12-2302, a resolution adjusting the 2022 fiscal year budget. And the reason for that is, one of our audit findings was we did not properly record memos for pass-through grants where we don't receive the cash, it just goes from the state directly to the contractor, but we have to show that through our accounting system. So we had to do an increase to our revenues of $341,909.51, and also showing that going out in the same dollar amount for other capital improvement projects. Any questions? If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Bill Mason made the motion.
I'll second it.
Chad second. Roll call.
President West,
Yes.
Councilman Duval, Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Muncy,
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Alright, and then we'll jump back to the budget for the festival. And again, the reason why you're getting this is because the festival is under the village's umbrella. That's why it kind of comes back through you guys. You guys approve the budget, high level, when you pass the 2023 budget, but we feel it's fair to bring back like a more detailed budget to you guys, so that way you kind of know where we're going. Did you make copies for everyone? If not, I'll throw it up on the board. All right. All right, so for revenue for this year, we're anticipating about $17,550 in sponsorships, which is about a $7,000 increase from last year. Again, Village Council puts forth $4,000 a year for this. Beer sales, $800, ticket sales, $5,000, silent auction proceeds, $3,000, and the different fees and different things from the Queen. So that's our revenue. Anticipated revenue totaling $32,850 is our estimated revenue for the festival. Then our expenses over here, our total bands, what the total cost for all the different bands, we're estimating at $6,000. Get a cash prize out, that's a $1,000 prize that we hand out, and the $100 prize for the person selling it. The ticket price to make the tickets, volunteer food, ad design, things like that. Insurance did increase from $500 to $1,200 this year. Restrooms, this is on the high end to get more restrooms, because that was one of the complaints, is there was no restrooms on the back side, everything was on the front side. So this is kind of buffering that a little bit. And then also a better stage, and a stage rental with the engineers, what they call it, someone that runs the lights and the sound and all that, is $3,800 for the day, estimated. And then just different miscellaneous things that we have down through here. Now, so our anticipated expenses around $21,000. So that will give us a rough estimate carryover of about $11,000 profit. Now again, this is all budgetary. Last year we met our mark because we had it budgeted for 6,000, almost 7, and we hit it right on. Hopefully we do the same thing this year. We have a crew that really is energetic, and remember last year we done it in 2 months, to where this year we're doing it in 8 months, all of our fundraising and stuff like that. So we think that we're able to hit this. Keeping in mind, if we lose revenues, then we have to cut back on expenses, because it's not the village's responsibility to make up more than what we can afford. You guys committed $4,000 and that's it, right? So again, this is just our preliminary budget, so you guys kind of know what you guys will see coming through the village's accounts, since that's what will happen. Any questions on that? And this doesn't have to be approved by council. Like I said, you guys already did this through the regular annual appropriation budget, but this kind of gives you a breakdown and some insight on what the group's thinking. All right, we'll go ahead and move on then if there's no question. Any other new business? We have 108 Pearl Street. This address currently has 2 meters, and we bill 2 different individuals, but only has 1 shut off. So this is one of those things that were put in place years and years and years ago. Well, we had an instance where one resident didn't pay their bill and needed to be shut off. The other resident paid their bill that's on the same shut off. And unfortunately, we can't shut off either, because the law prohibits us from shutting off water service to anyone that pays their bill. Since that other resident is attached to it, we can't shut off the water. Luckily, the owner, we made them aware of it. They came up and paid right that same day, right? So we were made whole to where it wasn't an issue. But we do have issues like this, and I just want to bring it to council for awareness and maybe come up with a plan on what we need to do to mitigate this. In my mind, if it's only 1 shut off, then there's only 1 master meter we read, and then the landlord would be responsible for breaking it out, or they put in 2 shut-offs at their responsibility or at their cost, and then we can keep it 2 different meters. But
It's the same landlord for both of them?
well, this is 108, yeah, it's two apartments in this one, or two residents on this parcel.
It's a house and a garage that they built on Jim.
Yeah,
It's been a problem in the past.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I want to fix it because it's not fair. We can't shut off the water if the other person always pays their water, and that person will always pay their water while they live there. There's no doubt in my mind. And so the other person kind of reaps the benefit that we can't shut off their water, and I don't think that's fair. So, if, we don't need to make a decision now, but I think we may need to look at our ordinances and all that to see what we can do and what type of agreement. When I say agreement, it's not an agreement, but, a way forward to get issues like this taken care of in the village.
So do you want me to see if there's already an ordinance in place, or do
We have an ordinance with language in there, and if I remember right, the ordinance says something about the owner has to do X, but I can't remember what X is, so maybe look into it, and it's on our water fee ordinance, if I remember right. It's all in there, so there may be something in there that just needs updated or enforced, one of the two. Any questions on that? And again, there's probably a handful of other properties that are probably similar to this that aren't a problem, but again, may become a problem. I want to make sure we have something set so we can start mitigating those problems. All right, next up is the EPA equipment grant. So we were made aware the EPA has a small grant out there that will allow us to buy equipment. Right now, all we need from council is council giving the mayor permission to apply for the grant, and it's just a form, and then from there it goes more into the grant language where we come back with projects and stuff like that. But Tony and Casey have already been looking at it to find out what possibly we can purchase with that, which I think is an valve exerciser for us, and then reaching out to other villages, what can they buy, and then we can like trade our equipment, because again, a valve exercise equipment we're not going to use every day. And the grant will only give us, what, $10,000 or roughly up to, so it's about what one of those cost.
Bringham's gonna get what? They're looking at getting the, leak detector.
Yeah.
It's a sound system that you connect to one side to the other. They're gonna look into getting that. That system's a really good system, but they have more ductile, metal pipe than we do. So for them, that works better for them. Does that make sense? So up here, it'd be better if we went like the opposite and then as this progresses, because I'm gonna screw this up, every 3 years, we can resubmit. Now, get another piece.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So what is it on ours?
On ours, we're looking at getting it's called a valve exerciser. It's a big machine, handheld machine that you hook up, and you connect it to the bottom of the big valves that we have, like the fire hydrants, stuff like that. Because it's like 20 to 30 spins.
30 spins, you don't want to open it.
To get it shut off, or to turn on, and then 20 to 30 to get it shut off.
Yeah.
And you gotta do that, not just once, but
Right.
Yeah.
you gotta do that quite a few times to say it's exercise.
Yeah, and we also have to do those annually for every
Yeah.
valve that's a main valve.
Ours right now is set up, we do it annually.
Yeah.
Right between spring and going into summer, you'll see us back out doing it again.
Okay. And then we basically can apply for the grant again.
In 3 years
Yes.
for something else.
In 3 years, we can reapply
Yep.
for either, something else that we can find in that ballpark window that they allow, because right now it's only like roughly four different things.
Yeah. And we're reaching out to other villages too to make sure they're aware of it, because it's really not a competitive grant, it's just money that's out there to get. And then if everyone buys something, then we can just,
Share.
switch and trade,
Right.
yeah.
And that's the goal right now, is so that everybody's got something that we can just kind of,
Right, makes sense.
All right, so I just need approval giving me permission to apply for the grant.
I'll make the motion.
Michelle made the motion,
Second.
Barry, second. Roll call?
President West,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jamal,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Muncy,
Yes.
Councilman Paymore,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Any other new business? If not, We'll do around the table. Barry, you have anything?
No.
Jim?
I had a meeting with the solar company Saturday.
Okay.
Just a private citizen talking.
Mhm.
I guess I was the first person to ever ask them about the water. They, as I totally caught her by surprise, she was expecting, questions about greenery
Yeah.
and Bambi and Little Rabbit
Yeah.
Food. So I'm still waiting on an answer back from her boss,
Okay.
so.
Is that the lady in Baltimore that you want to see? Okay.
Yeah, I got some of their propaganda sheets
Okay.
and stuff. It's just, what they do is they pound posts. You've seen them build viaducts. As you drive down the road, they have a big hydraulic hammer that pounds the posts in. That's what they'll be doing to set the mirrors, panels, whatever. They will be grading the land out,
Mhm.
but then they let Mother Nature reseed it. Okay, they don't keep it barren from vegetation. All the vegetation all grows back. I guess there's a setback of where they'll go in and plant the naturally occurring flora that's there and stuff. There is a fence around it, 12 foot or so high, very high, to keep people out. It's high voltage. Okay, so yeah. But that's all I got on that. Like I said, I asked her about the water and she just had no answers.
Okay.
None. Okay.
So they do reseed, because if they don't reseed, then I can start having runoff, so,
Oh, okay, so
you know what I mean? Like,
they, the way she put it, Mother Nature just grows whatever Mother Nature grows there. They don't take the topsoil out, they just move it around so it's more of a level field for them. And then,
I just
grass
know
will
you
come back
start
in a
to have-
season. Well, grass will come back in a season.
yeah, I just know, like, a lot of times, like, EPA wise, they want
I don't know if they
vegetation back.
reseed or not. You're
Just because it
welcome
holds
to.
the, yeah, I'm just saying, because it holds
Okay.
the,
That's
I'm
everything
trying to think of
I
what it's called,
got from
erosion.
her.
It stops erosion.
understand.
So I just didn't know if she explained to you. So
I
it's
don't
just-
know, that's, everything
Okay.
is in there. I didn't really even look at it.
Okay,
Okay, she didn't answer my question, so I was kinda done, so I let her continue to talk.
And
okay.
then while you're bringing that up, on our miscellaneous items, Farm Fairfields, the lady that was here last month,
Yes.
they did reach out to us because we did offer our building at no charge for them to hold any town hall. So they took us up on that, and they'll be holding one Wednesday, February 1st at 7 PM at the community center. And by our understanding, they've invited the different township trustees, and it's the local USDA ag that will be presenting. So it's someone from the state, county level that will be doing the presentation
I
there,
think
so.
she said both, honestly.
Both, okay,
That they were inviting as many people as they
Yeah.
possibly could, but they wanted the trustees here specifically to hear the county and state officials.
yeah,
So that everybody was educated, and then those township trustees could go back and share with their
yeah.
constituents, you know.
Again, and we offered to put that on our, again, like, pro or con, as long as it's educational, we are here to help.
So will there be a representative from there now also, or is this just like their
From my,
side?
this is their side, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know if they invite them or not, it's all ran by them, so we don't get in
I
the middle
know,
of that.
based on what Melissa said, it wasn't their side,
Yeah.
it was like, here's educational
Yeah.
material. They might be,
Yeah, and they may just show up for,
Yeah, I
just to be there
uh,
type thing, but I don't know,
yeah.
yeah. So, but no, yeah, it's a lot of, there's gonna be a lot of discussions on that and a lot of
Yeah,
information.
so, and there's not just one, my understanding is there's several of them gonna be scattered around, this side of Canal Road
Yeah,
and stuff, they're all the way out.
it's one project, but it's different
Yeah.
parcels, yeah.
Yeah, there's a map in there, but
Mhm.
I couldn't, maybe my magnifying glass could see what
Yeah.
the road names or anything was. It's
I
just-
think there's gonna be a bunch of them. There's a huge one going, right as you go into Circleville now, there's a
Yeah.
huge one going in there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, and our main thing is, like you said, our aquifer and our drainage is our two main things that we have a fight.
Yeah,
in.
that's my only
Yeah.
concern. Bambi's been around for years and years, they'll find a way around the fence.
Mhm.
Or Rabbit Foo-Foo can go under,
Yeah,
okay? I mean,
yeah, but our water is
it's still
important,
gonna be green.
yeah,
You know, in 2 years, it'll be all greened up and, you know.
yeah. And those are things like, which I did reach out to Jonathan about having him come up one of your meetings. So once you get a meeting set up that you guys want, we can bring him up. And I think he would be the best person to help advise the village, like, okay, if you're concerned with this, this is probably the document you need to work on. Or, you know, like, give us that help. And again, he's non-partial, but understands, like, his job is to protect the water and stuff like that as well. So he's probably gonna be doing the same thing from a county level, but then in support of, the village will be doing it, I would hope. So that way, when it goes to the state, everything's documented. We've listed our, I don't want to say grievances, but our expectations. And then if something would happen, the responsible party would have to fix it. So it doesn't come back and land on us.
Or that's just something that she couldn't answer.
Yeah.
Any kind of preventive measures
Yeah.
are taken, then chock full of no answers.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. So,
We'll find out.
Yeah.
If I haven't heard back by Monday, I'll be calling her again.
okay,
Okay? 'Cause
all right.
can't see why it's so hard to, I mean, she may not know where her boss should.
Yeah, someone should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody should.
Yeah.
Unless it's something they're trying to duck away.
Yeah. But again, I keep saying this is so new, there still hasn't been long-term studies. Like, everything is based on the last, 10 years roughly. That's not long-term. Like, you know, it takes more time to determine if something is bad or good than 10 years.
Mhm.
And there really hasn't been a lot of good studies, so it's really hard to find good information on any of this. All right, anything else?
No, that's
Okay.
it.
Michelle?
I would just say I've noticed that people were talking more that there's been a lot of crime in the village.
Mhm.
Actually, it seems to be more in your area.
Yep, I saw that,
I
or I
just-
heard about that.
Yeah, so I know there's some people in town, not me, but
Yeah.
talking about community watches and,
Yeah,
because people seem pretty concerned. They're even talking about it in Lancaster.
okay. No,
So
I,
there's definitely been an uptick, so just,
yeah,
I don't know, like, you know,
You can have that.
the,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
there was someone that reached out to find out if a community watch could be started again. I did reach out to Sheriff Late. He gave me the contact person for that group. Again, council is not, we
Right.
have to kind of stay away from it at arm's distance. And they understand that, but I'll reach back out to that individual to have them spearhead it if they want to.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
that.
that would be good, because
Yeah.
it definitely seems like it's a conversation point going on.
Yeah,
And it seems like first is,
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like first, and I guess some cars gotten into. So
Yeah.
the truck was stolen, and then on first and second, there was a lot of cars that they got in. They even sold a kid's wrestling shoes out of a car.
okay,
Not sure why you would take
yeah,
small wrestling shoes, but
yeah, who knows?
I'm just as an FYI,
Yeah.
so that's good if you've already kind of reached out to the sheriff's
Yeah,
department.
yeah. Yeah, and the only thing I've been told, because of the recent stuff, is just things are being investigated, which would be your standard answer right now, so.
Right, right.
But yeah, hopefully we hear something back soon, and the only thing that I heard, again, I don't know any facts, is someone's parking at Audi Park and kind of sweeping through town, so it's, to me, that sounds like it's an outsider versus an insider, but it could be
Right,
anything,
right.
you never know.
But yeah, no, they do have a good community watch. People could get involved and they will use the car.
Yes,
So,
yeah,
they were using it here and coming through some, I was seeing them, but
yeah,
if people volunteered,
that's it.
that it could happen more too.
Yeah, I worked with a guy that done the community watch. He lived in Lithopolis, and when you volunteer, you kind of volunteer for, I want to volunteer for my town. So if you live in Lithopolis, you're going to patrol Lithopolis type thing.
Right.
They try to get you to go out, but again,
Right,
that's what you patrol, and just no one in this area volunteers for that.
right.
And then there was two older gentlemen. They actually went through the entire county, hitting all the little villages, and that's usually who we saw.
Yeah, when I was working with the one sergeant, he said that he would ask them to hit us, and
Yeah.
I did start to see
Yeah.
them, but I haven't seen them lately, so
Yeah.
maybe this will ramp that up.
Yeah, hopefully. Now, we do have our new budget, and we do have special duty, and normally we don't pick that back up until later in the year. I mean, it's something we can start bringing back up earlier too, but then we'll have to cut it off somewhere else too towards the end, so. I guess everyone has, without putting on a record of days and all that, but if anyone feels like we need to start a little bit earlier, let me know, and we can get that. Because again, it's a numbers crunch. We use it up front or in the end or where,
Right. What time were they down at the park that people were seeing them?
I don't know. I
Oh,
just, people
'cause
were,
that would be good too.
Yeah.
If we knew, like,
approximate times, you know what I mean?
Well,
Maybe
anyone
there's
that told me anything, I said, well, report it to the police, like, don't report it to me, because I'm not the person. You need to report it to the sheriff's
The only
office.
problem is most people
Yeah,
won't.
and that way they could record it, because again, if it's 3 people that said it was 8 o'clock, well, they know
Yeah.
for sure, but if 3 people say 3 different times, and it's
Right.
like, okay,
Yeah.
what's going on here? But yeah, anyone, always turn that over to the sheriff's office. Chad? Bill, you have anything?
No.
Bob? All right, miscellaneous items, we went ahead and touched base on that. Penny, do you have anything?
Nope, that the year end is closed.
Okay.
Just finishing up, and I'll have the purchase orders next month for everybody to sign, well, the finance to sign. And just getting all the taxes filed and everything.
All right. If nothing else, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Bill made the motion. Second?
I'll second.
Second by Chad. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, we're done.
7:43 p.m.
Do that.
Okay, if you don't
I- I-
mind, but
no,
don't you need it for when she calls you back?
I don't need it when she calls, if she calls me back.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Well, enough,
Happy New Year.
I think you do that to him every